I fully agree with Aryaman Sundaram. But the point here is, if the trust in CBI is lost, but as a political party, if I have so many different names which are being even given by eyewitness belonging to a particular party, am I wrong in public interest to raise it? And am I being told, oh, you belong to a political party, so you can't name anybody from the Congress? I'm sorry. I will name the parties, because for a long duration, the Congress was in ruling, and if it was genuinely interested in getting justice, and if it was not misusing CBI, why were 3 different instances where those earlier commissions also said, charge sheet has to be filed? 1987, once, again in 1993, again in 1994. Let's not then fool ourselves by saying, probably they did not do their job. They probably did their job, but the Congress was interested. The Congress was interested in covering up. And even when it shifted the papers from Marwa committee to Ranganathan Mishra committee, the entire papers were not passed on.
No, I am asking a simple
details were all lost.
Simple question.
So why do
the 1 minute, I'll take my question today. People are very upset. Why do the sensitivities and feelings of the Sikh community in this country not matter to you? Why is the political careers of some Congress leaders more important than truth and justice for the victims, thousands of victims of 1984? Let there be complete justice for 2002. But what about justice for 1984? What about justice for 1984?
Arnab, only one point.
I would like to say we have the highest regard for the Sikh community and likewise for all the minorities communities in this country. There is absolutely no doubt on that, and we have been proving ourselves that we hold them in the highest esteem, and their security and well-being is the priority of Congress party. The fact in this particular case what we are talking about, yes, no, actions have been heard. Actions have been heard and it has been proved. In this particular case of Jagdish Tytler, the charge sheet was filed where there was no evidence for him, and the court has accepted. After that, the court has asked for a re-investigation. We are ready for it. We are not trying to stop it. We are not trying to subvert it. We are not trying to put it under the cover. Now the fact is, as soon as the court has ordered, immediately an investigation will be done, and if he is found guilty,
will you say today,
we are not trying to protect him. No, let me complete it, Arnab. Give me a minute. Now, as the Congress is being made out by the BJP that it is not sensitive to the issues of the Sikh, I am telling you very clearly, we are very sensitive to the issues of Sikh. They are part of the country, and
even today the threat continues for their lives.
Nirmala ji, either you let me speak or even I will interfere in yourself, and then you will talk, say that you are not allowing me to. Now you cannot do this. Let me speak, let me talk, and let me give me my version of the thing when I asked for it. I have waited for my turn. We are holding the Sikh community, Muslim community and all the other communities who are the minorities in the highest esteem. Our party is committed to that. Our party is committed to secularism. We have proved it time and again, and we will prove it time and again. The point here is, in this particular case, as Mr. Karthikeyan has said, that the courts have accepted the statement of the CBI and the charge sheet, and then they have held him not guilty. If the investigation is being opened, we welcome it. There is no this thing. We are not covering it up like the way BJP covers up their investigations. We are not doing anything like that.
Welcoming it is an
BJP has been proved to cover up the investigation, and the cases have been shifted out of Gujarat.
Mr. Abid Rasool Khan is the political activism that is required. Why is the Congress party quiet on 1984?
Now, political activism also needs.
How many times have you hit the streets on it? How many times have you made it a political issue? How many times have you raised it in a public forum? Come on, sir, accept it. 1984 is a shadow that you want to brush aside but will not go.
Courts also needs to be talked about. It is not that the political activism, we cannot put anybody in the jail just for it. We need to follow the rules of the country.
Kumar Ketkar.
Arnab, can I say?
Kumar Ketkar. Abid Rasool Khan says follow the rules of the country. Sorry to come
but
too late.
They don't do that in Gujarat.
Kumar Ketkar's turn. Kumar Ketkar's turn, please.
Arnab, Arnab, the only simple point is between 1996 and 2004, there were 4 governments which belonged to non-Congress parties, different coalitions, different governments, and nobody can say that CBI was at that time controlled by the Congress. CBI at that point of time was controlled either, if at all it was controlled, by the BJP, Third Front and so on and so forth. And therefore it is necessary to understand why between 1996 and 2004 these cases were not pursued. Between 1984 riots and 1996 there were 12 years, and between 96 and 2004 there were 20 years by the time 2004 came and nothing happened. In between the second riot took place in 2002. So 16 years after the Rajiv Gandhi's prime ministership. So I think it is necessary to understand that CBI was not part of the Congress, so-called Congress hegemony at that time. Why CBI, when not autonomous under their government, did not pursue these cases on fast track and did not punish the guilty. I am concerned more as an Indian. I am not concerned myself as a congressman.
The BJP wants to answer you,
or
Mr. Ketkar,
which
allow
party.
them. BJP
I am
wants
not
to answer
concerned.
you.
My concern is as an Indian.
Earlier,
I am an Indian and I hate.
allow me to speak,
my
Mr.
concern
Ketkar.
is an Indian and I hate any riot, any communalism. So I don't think this kind of acrimonious debate is going to solve between. It is not a question of BJP and Congress. It's a question of humanity. The simple point is that between 1996 and 2004,
till before 2000,
was not controlled.
or let me say till before NDA came. He's again speaking.
Let her respond to you, sir.
When the NDA came to power, it was very clear all the commissions till then were only attempting to whitewash the whole case, undermine the importance of the witnesses, threaten the witnesses, and it was going on like that. It was only after NDA came, much to the satisfaction of many of the Sikh community,
why did the government between
we formed the
96 and 2004 did not pursue?
Mr. Ketkar, you seem to be over-enthusiastic in protecting
why
the
nobody
CBI.
pursued?
To twist the whole matter.
Why nobody
You're trying to
pursued?
twist the whole matter. It's not like that. It is not like that. Your record.
No, why don't you just allow me to finish, Mr. Ketkar? You're
allow the BJP, allow the lady spokesperson of the BJP here to respond to you, please. Mr. Ketkar, sincere request to you. Yes, Ms. Ketkar.
The Nanavati Commission was appointed by the BJP and the report was submitted in 2005. Would you wait for the report or would you just jump the gun and go ahead doing your work? We appointed the committee which went through it in exhaustion and then got a comprehensive report, which till before then, the number of committees appointed, number of commissions appointed by the Congress rule were all attempting to only whitewash. I'm repeating that. And when this report, Nanavati Commission report was submitted in 2005, Congress government sat over it and subsequently made the CBI give a clean chit. And those witnesses who were staying in USA, in New York, went on saying, please, I can't understand, we're scared of coming.
The only point on which,
Ms.
Nirmala Sitharaman, your position is weak tonight, is that it can be said to you that Prime Minister and Sonia Gandhi apologized and said sorry multiple times. Your party leaders have not apologized.
Sonia Gandhi never said sorry for this.
I'm sorry to add on to that.
Your party leaders, no, one second. Now, Narendra Modi says one only has to ask for forgiveness if one is guilty of a crime. Hang me if I am guilty, hang me if I am guilty. But there is no apology. On that point, it's slightly the point of weakness that there hasn't been a heartfelt apology for 2002.
Now that you've raised that
2002 from BJP.
Now that you've raised that,
I've made a point, yes.
I'll just give you one line which may not be the line I would ever want to say, but now that it is so heated a debate, I will certainly say.
Don't politicize her.
No. You can't tell me don't do this, don't do that, but give me an answer. I will give an answer. You may conclude whatever it is. I normally do not come on to this level of debate, but since it's becoming so heated, I'll tell you. I'm sorry. The Congress party made a Sikh Prime Minister to apologize. He called it a tragedy. I welcome that because he's an honorable gentleman. He did it. But is that his responsibility or is it the responsibility of the first family, which former Prime Minister even went to the extent of justifying that a tree falls and obviously the earth will shake. I'm sorry, the family has not apologized.
I remember,
belongs to the community of the victims.
What Sonia Gandhi says
belongs to the community of the victims who had to apologize. If that apology is called apology, I'll take it. But I'm sorry to say that is no apology Because the people who perpetrated the violence on the inspiration of the words uttered by the former Prime Minister.
Well, I don't believe in I actually don't believe in sorries and apologies. I believe in justice. And I must say this before I go back to the CBI's former director. I want to appreciate the candor and honesty with which Mr. D.R. Karthikeyan has spoken today, because it's an agency that he has served. And Mr. Karthikeyan, if someone like you is saying today to the CBI must look within, I think, you should be applauded for being so frank and direct, because it's a real point of concern, isn't it?
Yeah, in the
when you watch, as a investigative
premier investigative body,
premier investigative body, this is a point of crisis for the CBI, isn't it, Mr. Karthikeyan? The 1984 case.
It is. It is. That is the best investigating agency available in the country today. Only problem is, how do you insulate it from undue external influences? They are competent. They know what is the right thing. They know how to find out. They can collect evidence. They can certainly prove it in the court of law. But unless you insulate it from these external influences, I tell you, many of these decisions of the CBI will continue to be questioned. There is no doubt about it. And we have no option. You can't keep on, condemning it, because 99% of the cases, I can tell you, they are all very ably investigated, prosecuted successfully also. In these, very, very politically sensitive cases, the public perception is that it can be influenced, and it is being influenced. That is a widespread perception. It is very difficult to deny that perception, and very unfortunate. And even the courts, I find there is a limited, area in which they are able to ensure that the CBI is insulated from political influence, because ultimately the courts can decide on the facts presented before the court collected with evidence. And of course, in every case, they cannot go on questioning whether it is rightly done or not, because as it is,
I'm with you on it. Ariman Sundaram, you want to add something very briefly, please, before I close this debate on a very important subject tonight.
I just want to add
Mr. Sundaram.
I think Mr. Karthikeyan has been extremely candid about it. But what I do want to point out is, while he restricts the untrustworthiness of the CBI to politically sensitive matters, my point is, if an investigative body which is meant to be absolutely impartial and search for the truth absolutely is capable of deviating from that owing to what we may call political influence, that means they're capable of deviating, in which case I can't trust them. If they can be deviated by political influence, why not be deviated from it by something else? In other words, the moment it's only black and white here. There is no grey. The moment they deviate, then I'm sorry, they're untrustworthy. They could deviate for any reason at all, not just political. No, and this is not the body.
That is because of the inherent defects in the way it is constituted and administered and controlled. It is in the way the director CBI and others are appointed, and how they are held accountable. They should be made accountable only to the law and to the courts. And for everything they depend upon the executive government, induction of the people, promotion of the people, and how they is appointed.
Give it independence. Don't make the CBI. Don't make the CBI handmaiden in the hands of political parties. That's the limited point Mr. Karthikeyan is also saying today. Yeah. Don't use the CBI, Mr. Karthikeyan. That's your point.
I agree. That's what I told even the Parliamentary Committee on Home Affairs. 30 members of Parliament were there. I said, in the interest of the nation, please ensure that the CBI autonomy is maintained. Because if people lose faith in the CBI, where do you go? Every time the Supreme Court cannot appoint an SIT, it is not going to happen.
Where do you go?
And if people lose faith in when the CBI, like the FBI, it should be. Like the FBI, who questions the decision of the FBI? So every political party, I can tell you, all the political parties have to take the blame to some extent or the other for bringing the CBI to this condition.
As far as the Sikh community, which has suffered in silence, is concerned, I think we applaud the patience, the fortitude, the maturity and the greatness of the Sikh community.
And the perseverance.
And the quiet maturity and greatness of the Sikh community, which has suffered in silence. We can only empathize with them, and those responsible for this must look within. Now, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me on my first debate on the Newshour tonight.